What is up, Steelers Nation? Thank you so much for jumping on to another episode of All Steelers Talk. I'm Noah Strackbine, joined always by my main man, Jacob Puntari. Find us on youtube.com/All Steelers Talkers. Subscribe anywhere you get your podcast. The Pittsburgh Steelers preparing for the LA Chargers this week. The injury bug, it's back. And while there is some good news coming out of practice today, the Pittsburgh Steelers have had a number of injuries that seem to be hindering them as they wait for LA. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers, he's got some people that he wants to praise. Those people, absolutely shocking in the grand scheme of things. And DK Metcalf, we're going to talk about his words and the fact that he's not getting open, which is not his fault, and that somehow he may or may not be okay with that. It's a good one here in the Berg. Didn't make it to practice today. Was trying to all day. Couldn't get out of the freaking house, man. One of the days where the to-do list is longer than, I don't know, a long Santa's list. I couldn't even come up with something good. Good news on the horizon, though. I went to Starbucks, and the Christmas drinks, they're back. And there's nothing that gets me fired up more than a new coffee to drink for the next couple of months. So good day for the Strackbine household. Hope it's the same over your way. How you feel, my friend?
Feeling good. Reporting to you live from the couch today in the basement, joined by Satriale's incredible meat providings. Don't ever disrespect the Bing. Just want to make sure you remember that. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I'm comfortable for today's show. So we'll see how much more success that translates to today for us,
Look at, you know what they say? The more comfortable you are, the easier the pathways are to get the words out from the brain to the mouth to the throat to the whole nine. And I'm glad it's a good day in both households for sure. Let's talk some Pittsburgh Steelers injury news here. Yesterday popped up a lengthy injury report. We got some good news today at practice, but definitely some stuff to monitor throughout the week. Alex Highsmith has an ankle injury once again. Darnell Washington has a foot injury. Neither practiced yesterday. They both practiced today in some capacity. Don't know what to expect. I will say that even if today is limited, it's a good note for the Pittsburgh Steelers because that's all it takes for both of them to be able to play on Sunday is to say, yep, they practiced it once. That's it. It's all the Steelers require in order to get on the field. Still not great. Let's start with Alex Highsmith. His second ankle injury of the season, his 15th of his career. I mean, what's your concern level? This is a guy that 3 days ago we were saying you don't trade Alex Highsmith. You don't do it. You can't, not at the deadline. And today it pops up with a new injury, but it's the same situation that he keeps finding himself in. What's your level of concern with Alex Highsmith here overall, not just this week, but just the fact that it's here again?
It's considerable, man. And I can't lie. I mean, this is the problem, or not the problem, but this is the sort of catch-22 of having these elite trio of pass rushers, Alex Highsmith included. Like, he is so talented. They need him on the field. They need what he provides and produces on a weekly basis. But you cannot deny that there is this like injury prone aspect to his game. And it's not a question of can he perform? It's how many games will you have him on the field to perform? So Yeah, I mean, long story short, I am concerned. I am encouraged that he was able to return to the practice field today in some capacity. Encouraging sign, positive signs as we move closer to this Los Angeles Chargers game. But for the long-term outlook of this defense and for what they need to do to maintain consistency, having Alex Highsmith on the field and being productive is a huge part of that. So if that's, under contention in some way, it's a problem for the Steelers. So, I don't want to overreact, say it's a hit the panic button type of thing, but I do feel, 3-4 out of 10 on a concern level. Like it's minor, but it's there. It's persistent.
It's super persistent. And sometimes it's not minor. Like sometimes, I get the concerns minor, but sometimes the injury is not minor. Sometimes this thing is something that leaves you off the field for 2 or 3 weeks. And the Steelers can't continue to do that. My thing is, if Alex Highsmith is going to be a staple of this defense, you got to be able to play an entire season. Like you have to be able to stay on the field. And the fact that it pops up again just leaves more concern. And the next time Nick Herbig gets on the field and gets a stretch of games and has the same output that he had the last time he had a stretch of games, I start to think, at what point do you just keep Herbig out there? Because we've already made the argument. It's already happened where Herbig's got to be included in this defense more, and then they pull him back to the point where we're starting to forget. That argument's no longer being made. He gets out there this week and puts on a hell of a show again. We're back at it. We're having those same conversations of Herbig's got to play. Herbig's got to play. And I think the noise gets louder. And I just don't think that you could continue to ignore it every time it happens. I think you have to start acknowledging that it's becoming so consistent that it's ruining the momentum of the team, and the momentum of the reliability on defense. And it's something that you got to address. Again, do I expect him to play this weekend? I think so. But I also don't know if that means a full game, because the last time he had an ankle injury and everything was good, then that ankle injury got worse. I was like, okay, here we are. We're back. We'll see what happens. Darnell Washington on the other side of that with a foot injury. Talk about a bummer, man. Do I think Darnell's going to be fine? Yes, I do. Do I hope that this isn't anything big? No. Do we know the full length of practice, even if it's limited, he'll be okay? Probably, most likely. Still, Darnell Washington is tight end 1 in Pittsburgh, should remain tight end 1 in Pittsburgh, and I kind of want him to see that role and run with it. Not concerned at all, but I mean, it without Darnell, or without a fully healthy Darnell, you want to talk about the impact of that, because the running game is what impacts that more than anything. You now probably don't have Isaac Seumalo, could not have Darnell Washington. Significant, right?
Oh my gosh, beyond significant. I don't think it's not a stretch to say anymore at this point of the season that he is the top tight end, both in the passing game and in the running game. So
yes,
I don't think that is an understatement or an overstatement whatsoever regarding his importance to the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Again, like Highsmith, it seemed like he took a nice step, a positive step, at least in terms of practicing today. I anticipate that he will be in the lineup once again. But there you go. There's that nagging presence in the back of your mind, similar to this Alex Highsmith situation, where you're like, man, okay, he's fine. Glad he's able to take that positive step. But are we just one bad play, one misstep away from this offense being extremely limited once again? Are we one injury? Are we one misstep once again from this defense collapsing once again? And I think that is just like, that fear is so present and pervasive right now with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And even as you get these encouraging signs, and I'm excited to go down to practice tomorrow and get a look as well and see how they're doing after another day of rest and recuperation. But yeah, man, I mean, it's the similar level of like, it's a minor concern still, but it is really present and kind of a nagging presence in the back of the Steelers' mind for both Highsmith and for Darnell Washington at this point, because they've just become, or not, they have continued to and have become such essential pieces on both sides of the ball. You really can't afford to not have either for any sort of period of time.
No, I mean, I'm not sold on Darnell or on Broderick Jones yet, just because it was a rough game the other week, and you never know if it's going to go backwards. Darnell and Spencer Anderson are the keys to running successful plays in Pittsburgh. And that's awesome. That's nuts that somehow we got here. But those are the keys right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got to be able to have at least one of those guys on the field. Have to. The Steelers were looking for offensive line depth because they understood that if Isaac goes, they need another Spencer Anderson. They could use another Spencer Anderson. Can I toss a wild scenario out here?
Oh, please, brother.
Do you think that there's a chance that Ryan McCollum plays that jumbo tackle role this week?
Ew. No. that I guess was a little too harsh of a reaction. I mean, yeah, there's a chance, right? Like, I mean, I think they're going to, you look down the line and who is the next man up? Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not thrilled by the possibility. The idea of that being the adjustment made is not, not something I'm getting too excited about over here on this side of the pod, but you got to do what you got to do. And I know that there is a level of trust in Ryan McCollum across, whatever is being asked of him. Whenever Zach Frazier first had that calf injury popped up, you could see the trust between him and Aaron Rodgers in practice, just preparing for the chance that he might be on the field. So I think there is a lot of respect in the room for Ryan McCollum, a lot of value placed on him and what he brings and the versatility. But I don't really want to see more of him.
Me neither. I also don't want to see more of the actual backup offensive tackles, though. So, like, to me, it's like,
who do you?
it's like, who's worse? To be honest, I'd toss Ryan McCollum out there. Like, he's not the worst. He's not the worst. Is he the best? No. But if not, put Connor Hayward out there. Would you want to make a bet on who is the first guy to get pulled or pull in a running play in the Darnell Washington like duo set or whatever? $10 says it's Connor Hayward. $10 says they put him out there to be the blocking guy. I think it'd be awesome. I think it'd be so awesome.
That'd be so swell, dude.
All right, let's talk some Aaron Rodgers here. You got a quote from yesterday when Aaron Rodgers spoke, and we overlooked this. We should not have overlooked this. The Steelers did not make a trade at the deadline, so who's got Aaron Rodgers' eye? The practice squad. I did not stutter. There was no anticipation built there. The practice squad.
Correct.
Give me the quote. Give me a quote.
It's a banger of a quote, and our 41-year-old quarterback said this: "We've had guys on the P squad who've been playing for us. Obviously, Keyshawn Williams got elevated and has been doing a nice job for us. Max Hurlman has done really good all year. Isaiah Hodgins has done good. We've had guys in the P squad step up every single week and play, and there will be no difference this week." MVS?
It's got to be MVS, dude. What are you? How did we? That is the most. I'll call him out here, dude. And this is. I found out that Aaron Rodgers is a nickelback guy today, and my respect level for the guy through the roof.
Not the other way.
No way, dude. I am one of 11 Nickelback fans on this planet.
You and the Atlanta Falcons fans, one of the same. That Venn diagram.
One of the same, dude. If you get in my car any day of the week, there's a 30% chance that Nickelback or Creed is playing. And by 30, I mean 85% chance that by the time you get out, both of those bands have played twice. A lot of respect for Aaron. That was the most Russell Wilson answer you could have possibly given. Ever. It was. Oh, yeah. Look at the practice squad, guys. The Steelers don't have the practice squad, which, to be honest, discouraging answer. But it has to be MVS. Like, it's got to be. I'll read between the tea leaves here. It's got to be an MVS pitch to just say things are rough right now. All Steelers talk has nothing to talk about. I'm going to give MVS a little something out there, a little shout out. It's got to be it. And right. And is it a hint that he's playing this weekend?
That's how I took it. Don't know if that is the way Aaron Rodgers meant it. Don't really know what the Steelers' plans are, but I can tell you this, or I can tell you a few things with absolute certainty. The most impressive thing Max Hurlman has done is do a backflip in the preseason. And don't get me wrong, they loved what they saw out of him during training camp in the preseason. He is strictly a guy to service the scout team and the practice squad and the Steelers' game planning purposes. Keyshawn Williams, I've been a fan of him. I was excited to see him elevated into the punt returning role when Calvin Austin was injured. He's not the guy they're looking at to take that next step in the offense this year. Maybe in a future role, sure, because he's 23 years old, uber talented, uber quick. He's not who they're looking at as the answer right now.
No.
Roman Wilson was just, Air Roman was given the endorsement from the coaching staff, but was also given a very clear directive that he has to keep his feet on the ground. He's not who they're looking for to elevate.
No.
That just leaves one answer, the glorious trade deadline edition, that is Marquez Valdes-Scantling. And I am pumped to see what he does. So, yeah, it could have been a little tip of the cap from old Aaron Rodgers there.
I think it is. Look at Aaron is given pretty clear directive to the media this year to say, hey, these are the things I want to say. These are the hints. These are the little Easter eggs, as Taylor Swift would say, being left around on the media interview. And I think this is one of them where he's already a little bit campaigning for MVS, which only helps my argument that I think MVS is going to be the second leading receiver in Pittsburgh by the end of the season, because I do think he gets on the field this week, which would be nuts. But I think it's the beginning of something. What do you need to see from MVS if he plays this weekend to say, oh, okay, maybe I'm I'm not going to say rethink things, but I will move into the next week with a little bit more of an open mind.
I mean, a lot, man. If I'm going to be completely candid
That's
and
fine.
honest, like,
That's fine.
I mean, he needs to have like 75 yards and a touchdown for me to be like, oh, this was a guy worth foregoing everything at the deadline. Can it happen? Sure, man. I mean, like this is where that that Aaron Rodgers magic might just come a sprinkling here and just might pan out
Yes.
into something, right? Like there is lightning in a bottle could absolutely be captured here. I'm not going to sit here and say that's an impossibility. I am just I got to see a lot from him to think that this is a guy who solves their wide receiver depth issues. He might be an addition and someone that they can use in a helpful and productive way. I will concede that at least, but
yes,
man, he's got to show me a ton for me to be like, yeah, this is the guy and he's the answer. Do you feel differently? Is your bar lower?
75 yards and a touchdown is good to me. It's good to me. And I think it's very possible. I think it's very, what if that 175 yards and a touchdown is one play?
I mean, I bet I'll find a way to figure out a problem with it. But yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. If it's a big play, like that is to be, not so pessimistic for a second, that what that would represent would be the Steelers breaking open their offense in a very new way in the middle of the season.
Yes.
So like that's a very positive step. That's a very encouraging sign for the offense overall. So I mean, yeah, I don't really care if it comes on one reception or if it comes on 12 receptions to get that amount of yardage. If the production's coming, I'm okay with it.
All right. I think I would have to have a serious conversation with myself after that game. I would be driving home, as Cody says, listening to Bye 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 by the Backstreet Boys, which is pretty spot on.
Great.
And going, I think that might have been it. I think that might have convinced me that this has the potential to work. 2 games in a row definitely gives me the potential that it has to work. All right, let's transition here to some breaking news as it happened. DeMarvin Leal released by the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's got to be good news for Alex Highsmith. Sorry, blanking there. Better news for this one. You want to know what I bet it means?
What?
Good old Will Howard's getting added back to the 53-man roster. What else could it mean? Wow. Look at you need a roster spot. There's your roster spot. Rookie cute Will Howard's coming back, baby. Will Howard is coming back.
Oh,
we're back.
Mason Rudolph, get ready. Number 2 quarterback. He's coming for you.
Look it's coming. He's coming back. This is it. What else could it possibly mean? Why would you release somebody on a win Thursday for no reason whatsoever when you're not going to sign MVS to the 53-man roster unless
I was going to say, is this the space? Was Leal active? He was on the 53-man?
Leal was on the 53-man. You want to know who else it could mean?
That could be MVS, baby. That could be.
It could be ASJ.
Oh man, but he's not set to come till Wednesday. You think they got him locked up before?
Maybe not. Probably not. I would say probably not. But
that'd be wild.
That would be a hell of a shift. A hell of a shift here.
Yes,
hell of a shift. My guess is Will Howard. I think it's going to be Will Howard.
You're right. You're probably right. I don't want to go too far in the hype for MVS just yet. I wouldn't be surprised if he does not get activated for this game against the Chargers. I think I would be more surprised if he is added to the 53-man roster ahead of this game. But I think you got me all excited now, because now I'm thinking about if they could manage to get Asante Samuel Jr. under contract immediately. I mean, yeah, what a great move to swap out Asante Samuel Jr. for DeMarvin Leal.
It'd be awesome. I really do. I have such a hard time thinking that's what's coming. Is that it's a you'd have to be like, we secretly brought him in, okay, overnight, snuck him through the doors, Aaron Rodgers Malibu style, and had a physical, and everything was okay. And today we're going to sign him as he leaves Carolina. Like, no, I mean, would it be awesome? Yeah. But it's definitely Will Howard. It's definitely Will Howard, which good for Will Howard, man. That's exciting news. He's officially back at practice. He did enough to tell the Pittsburgh Steelers, look, I don't stink. Things are fine. And I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I don't think it'd be anybody else. They don't have anybody else activated. They're not going to, unless Max Hurlman's coming up from the practice squad. There's no chance. It's got to be, it's Will Howard time, baby. It's Will Howard. Let me ask, if they do add MVS to the 53 man, which we anticipate that's going to happen at some point soon. If they add him and they add Asante Samuel Jr., who's the 53rd and the 52nd guy on the roster right now?
Ooh,
that's a tough one, right?
That's a really, really tough one. I mean, because now we're getting into these special teams players who have very specific roles within the special teams unit too. So you can't I think the immediate person that everyone thinks of is Connor Hayward, but he's not a cut candidate at all. He is crucial to the special teams. And
he's the tush push. You're not getting rid of the tush
push. He's also been the protector in punts. So he's doing a lot for this team. But you look at it and you're like, who could it be? Who are you getting rid of to make space here for? I mean, there's Chuck Clark, Juan Thornhill. You could, but then
I think you might be spot on that one.
Well, yeah, but then you just have to weigh the consequence of, do you need another body in the secondary? I guess Jabril Peppers' health is a huge component in that as well, because he could just be an injury casualty as well, So I mean, there's the secondary, I think, is who I'm looking at as the pieces to get rid of if you need to open up a roster spot. But yeah, it's very it's going to fluctuate and it's going to change a ton in the next week or so because there's so many injuries to sort through.
100 injuries to sort through. I would say Scotty Miller going on IR makes a lot of sense for me, and him being shut down to create another one. And Jabril Peppers going on IR would be my other guess. But like you said, dude, Chuck Clark getting waived. I don't think Juan Thornhill will, but Chuck Clark plays special teams. Juan Thornhill doesn't.
Yeah.
So maybe it is Juan. Maybe it's not Juan. Maybe you get rid of Andrus Pete. I don't know. I think Scotty would be my guess at that 53rd guy right now. And from there, I'm going to look at it and say that maybe it's another defensive back, like you said. But Will Howard, bro, coming back, baby. Coming back. Shout out to Will Howard, man. I don't anticipate anything happening. I don't anticipate him becoming quarterback 2. Sorry.
No, of course not.
But I love it. I love the idea. I love the idea for sure. All right. That's Will Howard. All right. That's everything on our agenda. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of it, we're going to start answering all your questions. We'll be right back.
Pittsburgh, this one's for you. From the voices behind All Steelers Talk comes Black and Gold Apparel, your go-to for bold, fan-driven merch that reps the city, the Steelers, and everything in between. Whether you bleed black and gold or just love that Pittsburgh grit, we've got something for you. It's more than a podcast. It's a community. And thanks to your support, we're proud to bring the passion from our mics to your closets. Gear up, stand out, and show the world what real fans look like. Shop now at blackandgoldapparel.myshopify.com.
Shout out to all of our members. Shout out to all of our super chatters. Can't thank you enough. Before we get going, hit that like and subscribe button. It does wonders. We're getting dangerously close to 55,000 subscribers when we get to 60,000, which will come soon. I feel it. We'll be doing a giveaway. I'm very excited.
Oh yeah.
Do a little giveaway. All right. Let's kick things off with the Highsmith Glass Factory. My gosh. Business is booming. Unbelievable. Did
you see that the AB news?
No.
I believe he has been brought back into the United States, or is being extradited to the United States
What?
for his in
When did that
connection.
happen?
I was just reading about it about 4 seconds ago while the ad was playing.
Wow. I got to message Jack. He's our inside scoop on all this. That would be great. Do you have the story up?
I'll find it again. It was on the old X.
That would be so crazy to me. Oh, sorry. That would be so crazy. But look at shout out to AB, man. Shout out to Highsmith Glass Factory.
It's being extradited to New Jersey by U.S. Marshals from Dubai. They got him. They got him, folks. Yeah.
Where's it coming from? Where's the source? We need a source. We're journalists here.
I just saw the Steelers Now cover it, if that's helpful.
Wow, dude. Wow.
Dove Kleiman put it out. You know, if that robot puts it out,
if Dove Kleiman's put it out, that's real. That's real talk. Did it end with there's nothing better than true love? There's nothing more beautiful than true love?
All caps, heartbreaking.
Shout out to Dove Kleiman, dude. Shout out. Nate needs more salad. Extend Jacob to a long-term deal immediately. Dude, Jacob's hooked, brother. Look at Jacob. I'd fist fight somebody.
Jacob's locked in, baby. Jacob's locked in.
It wouldn't even have to be a lot. I would fist fight. There would be another, like, I'm not going to say anything that's going to just incriminate me. That's the word I'm looking for. We just talked about AB. Let's just say I got 2 knuckle sandwiches coming. Whoever wants to step in the way there, brother. Jay Shalamone became a new YouTube member. Shout out, my guy. Appreciate you. Make sure that you're calling in to the call-in show. Eddie the First. Jacob saying, I don't want to be pessimistic. Is wild. Release Slay for ASJ. Release Slay for ASJ. That would be crazy. Can't do it. Can't do it, unfortunately. Lindsay, go ahead.
Is there any scenario that feels realistic to you in which Darius Slay does not finish this season a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers? I don't think I can get there without being purely speculative, but I'm wondering if maybe you can find that way.
No, I don't think it could happen. I don't think the Steelers have any interest in making it happen.
Gotcha.
You know, like
that. Yeah.
I just don't like they'd bench him. That's one thing. But what are you going to do? You're going to release him so that James Pierre's your backup? Like,
right.
They'd be like, we'll be fine, dude. We got Corey one knee and James Pierre. We'll call up Daryl Porter Jr. and everything will be fine. Everything will be fine.
The squad.
No, I don't think so. Lindsay, who is playing for Isaac C. Amalu? Spencer Anderson will start for Isaac C. Amalu. Ernie Jones. Hey, what do you guys think? We got a Super Bowl team if we use them right. Reaction. I did see that. I don't like, how are you using them correctly? You know, like what's the right way to make Juan Thornhill and Darius Slay play better? You know, what you got to move them around. You got to make sure that they're behind the line of scrimmage before you got duct tape them to people. I just don't know what the answer would be, you know?
Yeah, you put them in a time machine, send them back to 2018. Like that, you know what I mean? Like that's when you get the better performance. I don't think I have a hard time with this statement in general because I don't think the Steelers are incorrectly using a ton of players. I don't know if you disagree, we can certainly talk about it, but I don't look at like, you know, they underutilize some players defensively, in my opinion. They probably play Jonnu Smith too much for my liking at this point, but like, I don't think they are miscasting Darnell Washington. I don't think they are miscasting Calvin Austin III and what his role is on the team. I think they have been able to really find ways to keep Jalen Ramsey productive in multiple ways. So I think it's less about finding, you know, plugging the players into the right holes, and it's mostly about player execution at this point. I don't know if you feel much differently.
No, I 100 again, like it goes, you got, unless you're duct taping Darius Slay to a defender or Juan Thornhill to a receiver, it just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And put some weights in Juan Thornhill's pockets to help him fall to the ground farther when he's trying to tackle guys. Like that's what it comes down to. And I just don't think you're getting that. And the Steelers got to be, I think it comes down to execution. I think more than anything, it comes down to execution. How long ago did this AB news happen? Just curious as we.
Maybe 30 minutes ago.
30 minutes. More crazy.
Might have happened just when we popped on here.
Crazy times. Lindsay, don't they have to elevate MVS from the practice squad? When is the deadline? The deadline is Saturday at 4 p.m. to activate MVS, and I'm starting to agree that maybe he's coming. Trizzy Trey became a YouTube member. Shout out, my guy. Appreciate you. Keeping it trucking here. Maddie, my man is coming back. Who dis? I miss. What did I miss? My bad. Shout out to Maddie. Probably fainted a little bit when we got the news, but kind of feels like it's coming. Maddie, once again, can we talk about how people call DK a diva, but he seems so unbothered by everyone eating? DK did say he doesn't care about anything as long as they're winning. He is a true professional. I will say that. I do get very professional vibes from DK at all times. Do you believe him that everything's fine and he doesn't really care about getting double teamed or not?
Oh, I mean, I think he cares about getting his own for sure.
Yeah.
I do believe him in that. I do believe him when he says it's more important that the team wins than he get individual statistics, accolades. He's a veteran in the league. He is looking to win. I totally understand that mentality sort of shifting. And he's never been, by my research and by my awareness of his career with the Seattle Seahawks, it's never been about him being a diva outright. It seems like he was one of the few wide receivers, at least in my opinion, who was somewhat justified in when he was upset about certain things.
Yes.
But since he's come here, the Steelers offense has struggled, and he has not been. There's been no vocal outbursts from him. There's been no demanding of the ball, or if you get the ball to me, the offense would do better sort of thing. It's not. He's just like, we have to do better. We have to do everything we can to be a better team. And I think that is where I believe him the most. Yes, I mean, he is a superstar wide receiver. There is no superstar wide receiver on this planet that is like, you know what? If I don't get the ball one time, I'm good because I'm just here to chill. It has to light a fire under his butt in some ways, but I think it's a lot easier to digest having 2 receptions or 2 targets whenever you're 5-3 versus 3-5.
Yes. Very much so. I always looked at DK as not a diva, but just an aggressor. He is the guy that he's going to fist fight you on the field. He's going to poke you in the eye. It's what he's going to do, but he's not going to do anything crazy. He's not going to throw helmets. He's not going to, which I'm not going to say anything out loud that I'm not supposed to say. What I will say is that the Pittsburgh Steelers are very much so okay with guys on this team not throwing helmets and causing scenes on sidelines. Why some former players are. Just tossing it out there.
Just tossing it out there.
Tossing it out there. DK's never struck me as that. He's always been the guy that, he will fight you, but that's about it. And that's not great, but I don't ever look at DK as a diva. And I definitely agree with the fact that I don't think DK is a diva, and I enjoy his presence in the locker room for the Steelers. Mike Lang, would love your feedback on my podcast. We're just getting started. Pro Couch Coaches. It's a good name. But my question, what if the coaching staff has more confidence in Wilson than we as fans do? I think they do. I don't think it's much, but I think they do. But I think the fans are. I think us and fans and everybody else are unrealistic about the options. I think that's the difference. Is we sit here and we go, I can't believe you didn't trade for Jalen Waddle and Jacoby Myers and Rashid Shaheed and Calvin Ridley and all these other guys. And they're going, yeah, dude, there was 30 other teams competing for them and we didn't get one. Sorry. Yeah, I think that us as fans look at it and everybody can leave. Everybody can go at any time. And that's just not the realistic outlook of the NFL, and they view it much differently. Shout out to the podcast. Everybody go check it out. Hopefully it's good. Best advice is to stay consistent, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Consistency wins all the time. All the time. Leroy, who is Broderick Martin, and did we sign him? Did sign him. He is a defensive tackle from the Kansas City Chiefs practice squad. Nothing impressive, to be honest. But another name, a Daniel Ikuwale. I think the Steelers could use a Daniel Ikuwale. That they're down bad. I think we're overlooking that Isaiah Loudermilk, Daniel Ikuwale, Dean Lowry, who we all forget about at this point, all gone for the Steelers defensive tackle room. Like, it's a beat up defensive tackle room. This is just needed depth. I think it's a good piece to have. He's massive. He could plug the middle at any time. I don't think he's a difference maker, but I am a fan of the signing for what it could be.
For sure. I mean, yeah, you said massive, 6'5", 330, third-year player out of Western Kentucky. Like, lots. I think he could be an addition or an asset on the run defense, which is, Lord knows they need some help there. But yeah, I mean, you get a nice big D tackle to sort of take up some running snaps. I think it's a decent signing. The only caveat to be, or not caveat, but the only important note to be aware of is since they signed him off of the practice squad, I think it's a minimum of 2 or 3 weeks he has to stay on the active roster.
Yeah, 4 weeks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Which, whatever. They've had Ezzy whatever his name is, all season. Yeah, all season long. Everybody's like, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah,
I forgot about that guy. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Again, I don't think it's going to change anything, but he's needed depth. Oh, Tortellini Salad, that's the same thing. Who's the DT the Steelers just signed? Apologize, guys. But I appreciate everybody being active and looking for it. Shout out to Jay Shellman, ND Joe. Way too much sugar in those coffees, Noah. If you're going back and listening, I said that I'm a big fan. Today was a good day for the Strackbine household because I realized that the Christmas coffees are back at Starbucks, and there's nothing that gets me more fired up than a coffee. I was on the protein cold brews for a minute there. Now we could get to go to a little creme brulee crunch. Ooh. This is a dessert coffee, guys. Okay, it's what it is. I'm a snacker always, and my last coffee happens after this podcast, so it's gotta happen. Otherwise, nothing else. You need a coffee before the gym. I don't go to the gym till 7:30. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I do a little coffee now. Sometimes I get a coffee outside the gym, go to the gym, you know what I'm saying? But either way, need a little coffee. And that's a snack coffee. That's a sugar rush. I'm going to bed after this coffee. That's what it is, dude. That's what it is. That's what it will always be. Cody Silva, do you play Nickelback in your car ride home after a loss? I play Nickelback in my car ride home.
Look at this photograph.
Every day, dude. Every day. Guess why? When I went to Starbucks today, asked me what I was playing in the car. It wasn't Nickelback until I saw the clip of Cam Hayward talking about how Aaron Rodgers is a Nickelback guy. And then that's all that played in my car the whole ride home. Dude. Ask my wife, and she'll listen to it enough where she's fans. She'll turn one on and be like, "Oh, it's a banger." Like, I know it is.
Poor wife, dude.
No way, dude.
What have you done to her?
I'm just saying. It's a good time. Stephen Cornfield, do I need to change my name back to Hurt at Practice? Potentially. But I think everything is going to be okay. I don't look at it as too much. Shower curtain. Do you think the Steelers are just good enough to clumsily stumble themselves into a Super Bowl? It's a good question. Do you think the Steelers could stumbly tumble into a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I do. I think that this team is just not good enough to clumsily sort of stumble their way through a couple of playoff wins.
Yes.
They get a nice, one of the teams that would be the biggest challenge gets out early. They don't have to face the Buffalo Bills or something like that, for example. All of a sudden, it's this easy peasy road to the AFC Championship. I mean, I'm not saying I'm betting on it. I'm not saying I think it's likely or even one of the most likely outcomes for the Pittsburgh Steelers at this point. And, heading into week 10, I'm not there yet for sure. This team has shown that they are not fully consistent yet. And sometimes it is those teams that are the most up and down that find their groove at the exact right time and go on a run. We've seen it before from the Pittsburgh Steelers, no less. So, I think it's possible. I'm not betting on it. Wouldn't advise you to either.
I never advise gambling because I'm terrible at it. So don't ever listen to me. I'm so bad at gambling that I have a YouTube Shorts algorithm that is just this one influencer who I do not know the name of, who just talks about losing money all the time. And I was like, okay, this is me. This is what my phone hears me talk about at least an hour once a day. Do I think they could stumble their way into a Super Bowl? Certainly. I think you could find a place where you play the Denver Broncos and you beat them in the first round, and then you end up taking on the New England Patriots and you could beat them in the second round, and then you find yourself in some crazy scenario where it's you versus the Baltimore Ravens, and that's a 50-50 split. That's a 50-50 shot that you just won that game. I think there's a chance that somehow something crazy happens and you end up against the New England Patriots or the Denver Broncos or the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC Championship game or the Indianapolis Colts. Like, I just think that there are teams out there that could make it possible. That's how the Steelers won their last Super Bowl or got to their last Super Bowl. The one that they lost to Aaron in the Super Bowl, the Tennessee Titans would have beat them by 70 if they played them in the playoffs. The Tennessee Titans lost to a Baltimore Ravens team that the Steelers were clearly better than, and they found themselves in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl.
I mean, look, crazier things have happened, right? So
yeah,
you can't rule it out.
Can't rule it out. If you're there, there's always a chance. Would I bet on it? Probably, but I would lose. Cody Silva, AST the GOAT. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate all you guys. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button while we're hanging out here. Can't thank you enough. Is Deshaun Elliott out for the season? The doctors are saying no. From my understanding, the Steelers expect him to be out for the season. Like, the Steelers are not viewing Deshaun as somebody who's going to come back, but they're not ruling it out. Like, they're not saying this is not an ACL tear. Like, this isn't anything like that. It's a hyperextended knee that's pretty significant. And they're looking at it saying, how do we get, if we make it into the playoffs, if we get deep enough into the playoffs, if this happens, if that happens, like, what does it look like? When could he come back? But that's the conversations that they're having, nothing more. And that's coming from sources. Like, that's something I've heard from inside that building about how the Steelers are viewing him. Again, they make it to the Super Bowl. There's a conversation maybe, but he's not coming back during the regular season. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Leroy, who is or was the best edge rusher duo? TJ Highsmith, TJ Budd, TJ Herbig. I think we actually answered this one. We did answer this one. This was your question, Leroy. Shout out my guy. You must have missed that episode. My apologies. You hit us right as we left, and then we wrote it down and we answered it the next day. So I apologize for this. But we'll answer it again for you. No doubt about it. It's TJ and Alex Highsmith. Without question. TJ and Bud, like a sound 11 games. You know what I mean? And it was a good 11 games. We made a lot of friends. Bud was a guy. He became a Steelers fan favorite there for a small stretch. It was fun, dude. It was fun. For a moment, we all collectively got to say Bud Dupree should have made the Pro Bowl. That was cool. That was a cool moment. TJ Herbig, they're not there yet. They're not the duo yet. So you can't even put them in the conversation. TJ Alex there have been moments where TJ Alex Highsmith are the best two players on the field. And there's a significant gap between them and anybody else.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to tout the potential of Nick Herbig and try to make a better argument for why he, deserves more. And I think Bud Dupree certainly should not be overlooked for his ability to make an impact after some development in Pittsburgh. But I mean, I don't think it's quite close in terms of production. The best years that those 11 games that Bud and TJ Watt excelled together did not produce the same amount of sacks that the best 11 game stretch for Highsmith and TJ Watt produced. So kind of an easy easy pick in my book, but also goes to show just how lucky the Steelers have been in terms of having exceptional edge rushers over the years. The fact that you could have this debate while, many other franchises are like, we'd love one. Be great. Like,
Anybody good would be awesome. We'd have a good time with them. Thank you guys very much. Yeah, dude. The Tennessee Titans have been looking for somebody like that for 10 years. Yet to find anybody. Poke through secondary mistake. Shout out, Poke Sal. Draft a wide receiver, corner, and a day 2 quarterback. Rudy, Will, and new guy Duke. Oh, and new guy Rudy. Who's
Rudolph.
Rudy? Oh, Rudolph, Will. My bad. And new guy Duke it out. We need a game manager, not an athlete. Also, Sawyer is top-ranked rookie edge rusher. Sawyer has been of everybody on the entire roster, Jack Sawyer is my pleasantly surprised pick. Like, that's my guy where I'm like, I might have doubted Jack Sawyer too much. I might have looked at Jack Sawyer in the wrong light coming into the season. I feel good about him.
I've loved what I've seen from him, honestly. It's a protected, sheltered role. Like it's hard to eat up snaps whenever the depth chart in front of you is so impressive. But yeah, I mean, he had his best game in a Steelers uniform against the Colts, and I think it is because he's a freak athlete. What was it? Was it Tomlin who called him like 5-star the other day?
Yeah.
And that's a great way. The sun's always shining on Jack Sawyer too, I think was the other part of that quote, which is like, I think it just speaks to how highly they value this player because he has so many tools in his arsenal. He's going to keep getting better, and I think we're just seeing a very small glimpse of it here in his rookie season. So, yeah, well said. Best name of the comments by far too. It makes me giggle so hard right now.
Every single time. Brad, we're getting 8 turnovers this week. 8 would be against the Chargers. Does Justin Herbert even throw interceptions? Is that a thing?
I bet he will when the Steelers turn it over 8 times against him.
I do expect it to be he does throw. He's thrown 3, 4, 6. He's thrown 8 interceptions this season. He's only got 3 games without an interception. Like, 8 would be a big number. Wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world, but it'd be a big number for sure. It'd be a big number. 8 would be, it'd be a season high. It'd be impressive. It would be so impressive.
What do you think's an over under we could debate real quick?
2.5.
I'll take the
dude.
under.
It's not like 6 turnovers does not happen on a weekly basis. Like, that does not.
So you don't punk.
It's been like, how many times do you like? Yeah, man. Well, when you're averaging 6.5 turnovers a game, you should be under that. That doesn't 2.5. 2.5 would be my over under.
I think I take the under. I think
Brad's
2.
over.
I think 2 would still be good. Like, you have 8 turnovers in 2 weeks. We're talking about, man, this team is a splash defense, right? Like, you can ignore that 6 of them came the first week.
You could. Bernard, people say A-Rod been lackluster. Those people are crazy. Like, the end of story. There's just nothing else to even say. Aaron Rodgers has been fantastic. He's 41 years old. He's the best game manager in football. He's keeping the Pittsburgh Steelers at 5-3. Like, sorry, nothing lackluster about anything Aaron Rodgers has done this season. Nothing at all.
I simply don't understand the meaning of the word then, because that's, I wouldn't describe what he's done as lacking lust. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't be how I describe it. I think he's been superb.
No, I 100% agree. 100% agree. So, I want to get this right. Solofe beats either way. Great name. When we picked Jonnu, I thought we would see the next Aaron Hernandez / Gronk duo with Freiermuth. Arthur Smith needs to find a way to get him going. I think we have a potential to see that in the next 2 years with Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington, because that's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome. I did expect Jonnu to be more involved. It doesn't surprise me that they're not. I also think that if you have, like, New England's offense had guys, like they had guys on the outside who could also play. I mean, it was Aaron Hernandez, Gronk, and Randy Moss. Like, you know, you were okay. You had options there. I'm pretty sure on the other side was Wes Welker. So, you know, I think that helps. That's not an argument against it, but I do think that the lack of outside options is impacting their use for sure. I also think the other half, Arthur Smith.
Yes. I think some of it was like the eyes were bigger than the stomach in some ways.
Yes.
Like I think Arthur Smith really wanted Jonnu Smith, and like he's the second most targeted receiver. Like so, like they're looking his way. They just have no ability to scheme up chunk plays for him right now. So yeah, it's disappointing. I think a lot of it has to do with the roles the tight ends are supposed to be playing to facilitate the offense. They're not really set up to be making these big plays and moving the ball down the field all the time. They're picking up, 10 to 15 yard plays every once in a while. They're doing it to throw the defense off. They're doing it after they're able to set up the run and things like that. So it's not quite, because the three tight ends are lackluster talents, to bring that word back again. I think a lot of it has to do with the way the offense and Arthur Smith wants these tight ends to be used.
So it's a pretty spot on situation. And I expect Arthur Smith to adapt. I do. I think the back half of the season could look different. Not by much, but at some point you're going to have to. Dougie Fresh, if the Steelers stumble into a Super Bowl, I'd even cut my hair and change my name. That seems like a song. Digging the sunglasses, Puntori. So happy you can read the comments, my guy. Shout out to Jacob being able to read the comments.
Never said I could read, just that I have glasses on.
I could see them. Can't read them. Desmond subscriptions seemed SN was rough on Peyton Wilson. Who's SN? Who we thinking SN is? Steelers Nation was rough on Peyton Wilson, but now he's looking good. Is all forgiven, or do we just chalk it up to nerves? No, I think he's got to continue to play better. Like I think it was a good game. I think he's had 2 decent games this season, maybe 3 decent games this season. I want to see more. I want to see more. I don't think he's there yet, but I don't think he's reached his potential yet. So I'm excited to see where it goes. But I think he's taken some steps forward. And you got to continue to take those steps forward.
Yeah, I mean, this is year 2 for him, right? So
yeah,
it's not like it is. He's not a 100% complete player, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot more that I think he needs to show to prove that he is a consistent 3-down linebacker. But yes. I mean, the speed, the athleticism, those things just continue to stand out in such a wild way. If he can just find that consistency, I don't think Steelers Nation is going to be hard on him going forward if he can find that next part of his game.
No, I very much so agree. Leroy, off topic, I believe Peyton Hillis did some type of voodoo and came back as Cam Scadaboo. That would be so awesome. That would be so awesome. I do think about it every time. They kind of look alike too. A little bit look alike. Peyton Hillis was my guy, bro. My guy. My dad was a Denver Broncos fan, and he was a stud.
Oh, yeah. I heard it's just, and Peyton Hillis is just an anagram for Cam Scadabo.
That's what it is.
You rearrange the letters. It's actually Cam Scadabo.
Scadabo. Stephen Gornfield, fantasy. Should I trade Javonte Williams for the boys and Olave for Jacobs and Addison? I haven't traded all season, and it's panned out so far. Javonte Williams for the... I don't even know what that means. The boys and Olave for Jacobs and Addison. Oh, from the boys, from the Cowboys. Got it. Javonte Williams and Olave for Josh Jacobs and Jordan Addison. Ooh, no. Javonte Williams has been a stud. Like this guy's unbelievable. I would not be trading him. Would not.
I think, Steven, I think you answered your own question here with the last part of your statement. You've not been trading. It's been working out. Don't make the move just because you think you have to. If the team's winning, you like where you're at, stay the course. You know what I mean? They're going to get you. Everyone's offering you trades right now if I'm evaluating the situation correctly, because you're the dog they're trying to knock off its perch, so to speak. So, maybe you should just sit tight. I don't know.
Yes. 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 Yes, I agree. Jay Shellman, do you think the front office valued the draft picks higher than normal because of the location of the draft this year? I could tell you 100% that Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin and the front office do not care at all. That does not mean that the guy that signs their checks does not care at all. And I think that is going to be determined come draft day. You know what I mean? When the Steelers are sitting there and somebody big and splashy is on the clock at 6, are the Steelers looking to move up? And what's the reason behind that? You know what I mean? Wouldn't be the first time they picked a quarterback because of the owner of the franchise, and may not be the last.
Yeah, I struggle to believe that the organization would be placing any extra value on these picks because they're hosting the draft. But I do wonder, like, if there is, and maybe it is just another way of describing pressure from ownership, but like, I wonder if the outside noise is at all a factor. It's not, it shouldn't be. I recognize that logically, but I just wonder, as vocal and as passionate as Steelers Nation is, I wonder if that outside noise can sort of produce that same result.
The outside noise from the fans or from Rooney?
From the fans, from I think media, the obvious like criticism and evaluation of the organizational needs moving forward, like that all seems very loud to me. Maybe it's not something that the Steelers ever really gets to the front office's ears in a meaningful way, and maybe it is just something that exists in the conversation surrounding the team, not within. But it's an important draft for the organization. It's an important draft for the fan base, and it seems like for two completely different reasons. So I wonder, like, if those disconnects ever intersect, and what happens when that does.
I don't know. If I had to guess, still, my guess today is that the Steelers' first round pick is a quarterback and that they make a move to get one. And we'll see where that changes. Peyton, the Great White Poke Salad. Just for you to read my new name. Shout out 41. Shout out to Peyton Wilson, man. I hope he's doing well. Here's a good one. Ginger King, do you think Omar goes after Kyler Murray? I told you yes to this. I don't remember if it was yesterday, 4 days ago. I couldn't tell you. Kyler Murray, dude. Yes. My answer to this is yes. I do think the Steelers go after Kyler Murray. God. And that is pure speculation.
Get that baby hands, toddler.
That's how I picture Kyler talking all the time. Just as he runs away.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, there is nothing funnier than watching clips of Kyler Murray scrambling out of the pocket because he looks like a 2-year-old who took a cookie when his mom specifically told him not to take the cookie, and then he's running away holding up the cookie. And it's just, that man makes $600 bajillion. And
yes,
no, I don't want it. I totally.
You might not want it, but I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be surprised either. This whole team makes
when your options are Will Howard, Mason Rudolph, and Kyler Murray. You're going, I don't like it, but we got to do it. I'm just excited him to wear his big giant shorts that go down his ankles and walk in. And I'm like, yes, I'm gonna show up every day for the walk-ins. For the player arrivals, just to see it happen, just to see it. And I'll never videotape it. I will just stand there and be like, right in my head. It'd be awesome. Carl, Meek Up Joe Green Bean Salad Spackler. What's more likely? Next year's quarterback edition. Figured this is the perfect way to rip off this. Kirk Cousins, Anthony Richardson, Kyler Murray. Order most to least likely to end up on the Steelers.
God,
I would bet if I was a betting man, which I am, I would bet one of these guys ends up in Pittsburgh next year.
Okay. I think that's I think that's fair. I think they're going to be tied to those guys until next season starts for sure.
Yes.
I said this to you, I think, when we were talking about Kyler Murray. I don't agree with this either. I think if there's anyone who is the likeliest option of at least of those three, it's Anthony Richardson. And that is a terrible option. That's like that is maybe even worse than Kyler Murray, right? Like they're
makes you throw up a little bit.
Yeah, it's not you're like, I don't want it. Kirk Cousins, I think Kirk Cousins is a swindler. I think he's like that. I tell you what, people gave Cam Hayward all this flack for wanting to renegotiate, and and stay with me now on this tangent, but they give these players all this flack. Kirk Cousins has just been one of the most average quarterbacks to ever lace up his boots in the NFL, and this man has made so much money. He robbed the Atlanta Falcons blind. Their 11 fans are weeping at the fact that they had to pay this man $90 million because they couldn't trade him. And their starting quarterback's last name is the most phallic sounding name I've ever heard in my life.
True.
So, I mean, Kirk Cousins, you devious bastard, you swindler. Oh God, he's good. He is.
And he did it to the Commanders before that, and the Vikings after that. And that man knew how to everybody every year would be like, the franchise tag is such a bummy move. I can't believe people do that to players. And Kirk Cousins is like, I'll take one. Thank you very much. Give me the franchise tag.
Yeah.
Me getting paid top 5 money for a position I'm not top 5 at every season. Thank you very much. We didn't actually rate these. I'm going to stick with you here. Anthony Richardson, Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins. That's my 1, 2, 3.
Agreed. 100%.
Yep. Leroy, last one. I say we signed Chuck Norris. That's our way that's everybody's way to the Super Bowl. You get Chuck Norris. You get Chuck on this team. It's over, brother. It's over.
That's the problem with American cinema. Chuck Norris.
Lindsay, Noah, stop ignoring it. No coffee on Sunday. Better get an energy drink for your caffeine. Look, I want to make it very clear that while I did forget my drive over coffee, which is a significant coffee in my day, okay? Significant coffee in my day. I drank many coffees that day. So we're still good. Even if I mess up and drink a coffee, we're fine. I just will see if back-to-back times I do not have my coffee, my drive over coffee, which again is a pivotal. I was exhausted walking into that stadium. Exhausted walking in there. It's 10 a.m. dude. I didn't have coffee in like 2 hours. It was crazy.
Just literally just the most tired I've ever been in my life.
Shout out, dude. Shout out. Nate needs more salad. Jacob, who's your favorite wide receiver on the whole team?
On the whole team. Oh, so many to pick from. It's hard.
Keyshawn Williams.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely, Keyshawn Williams is like he's the man.
Easy. Without question.
Calvin Austin, also love him. DK is awesome too. There's everyone besides Roman Wilson.
Somebody's gonna clip that. That will get clipped.
That's
Enigma
fine.
After Dark. Noah, Jacob, AST Nation. This is a great one here. Who's your midseason team MVP?
Hard not to call Aaron the team MVP at this point. Hard not to. Yeah, no, it's. I'm trying to make an argument for someone else in my head right now, and I can't. I think Aaron Rodgers is. I mean, like, I just don't think this team is 5-3 if they have Mason Rudolph at quarterback, if they have Will Howard, if they have Kirk Cousins, even. I just don't think this team. I think they're at best 3-5, right? Like, there's just
Oh gosh, yeah.
They don't win the Jets game without Aaron Rodgers, right? Like They should have won the Bengals game.
They don't win New England.
They don't win
New England.
Yeah,
there's no chance. I think it's easy. Aaron Rodgers. The easy answer is Aaron Rodgers. He is the best player on the team right now. He is the reason that they are where they are. I mean, every week in the call-in show, I get asked by Stephen Cornfield to do my power rankings. And every week for the last month, it's been Aaron Rodgers at number 1. He is the most important player on that team. 41 years old and the most important player on the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's awesome.
Exactly.
We'll finish off with a wall question for you. Why didn't they go all in and get a legit wide receiver when they have Aaron Rodgers now? He won't be here next year, and a rookie quarterback is not about to come out of college and win us a Super Bowl. Agreed. This is what I was told, okay? The Pittsburgh Steelers were looking. They wanted a wide receiver. They were actively shopping and aggressively shopping for a wide receiver. However, they will not give up their first, second, potentially even third round pick until they get a rookie quarterback in the door, because they look at it and say, until we have that next franchise guy, that has to be priority one, which you could agree with that or disagree with that. I think I sit somewhere on the line of both, depending on the week, but that is the reason behind the Pittsburgh Steelers not going all in on a wide receiver this year.
Yeah. I respect that. I don't agree, right? But I respect the mentality, the decision, the reason behind the decision. My only concern is, a rookie quarterback is not going to win the Super Bowl, right? Like, it's just not going to happen. It just never happened. It's never happened. And so I think they can get close. They can certainly find that guy and start to build around, but like, you just got to keep that thought in your head too. Like the rookie quarterback that gets drafted next year, if the Steelers do go down that route, he might be the franchise guy, but we're not talking Super Bowl in 2026. We might be talking deep playoff run, a la the Washington Commanders last year, right? But you just cannot win a Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback in the NFL. So, just something to mull over there amongst all this.
I agree. I think one day of the week, I feel go all in. You got A-Rod. He's the best player on the team. This team looks fine. And then one day of the week, I go, your defense stinks anyways. Why would you do that? Just going all in, even working. Is somebody in that building more realistic about it and say, look, Mike, I get it. But at the same time, like, you don't have a defense that's working right now. So why would we go all in? I think it goes both ways. I do. And then we'll finish it off here. Brad, Chris Automatic Boswell should be the team. He always is, but you can't. If the Steelers have a losing record, you could name Chris Boswell team MVP. The second you have a winning record, you're not allowed to name your kicker MVP. It's just rule of thumb, because you just can't. It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing, dude. It's so embarrassing. Shout out to Chris Boswell, man. Watched that man at practice the other day. He was on the indoor. He kicked 4 balls, packed up, left. I was like, shout out, my guy. That was it. Walked in 5 minutes later, was in his truck pulling out of the parking lot. I was like, this guy's a stud. This guy's
in his size 6 shoes.
In his size 6 shoes.
Put him in there. He's like, that's all this foot can take today, coach. He's out of there. He's
like, oh, cleats are getting a little loose. Got to go buy new ones.
Got to buy the
smaller ones. Stephen Cornfield putting a lot of stock in Howard NFL cards. Oh, in Howard NFL cards, just saying, I hope it works out. I hope it works out.
Retirement right there.
Facts. Big facts. All right, guys. With that said, we're heading out of here. Thank you so much for jumping on to another episode of All Steelers Talk. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/All Steelers Talk. Check us out anywhere you get your podcasts. And as always, find all of our work at si.com/NFL/Steelers. Before you head out, hit that like button. Can't thank you enough. And with that said, we'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy another beautiful day in the Berg.